So yeah, I had a little bit of an incident a couple days ago on Monday. We were at the dump and I just finished emptying the trailer from all the debris and tiles and things. And my wife had swung around with the car, and I was basically putting this wire hook safety thing on the tow ball. So it was like this with my gloves on. And for some reason, I don't know, I guess my wife kind of forgot she was in first gear, and she took her foot off the clutch and the brake, and the car launched ahead. So my hand kind of got caught. Not my hand, luckily. That's really good news, but my glove got caught. It pulled me forwards, and then the slack that's in this pulled the trailer towards me, and it smacked me on the side of this, and then it kind of spun around, and it managed to hit this on my hand, and it kind of bent my wrist all back and stuff like that. So I've got a big bruise on my side here, and my wrist was messed up for a couple of days. It's feeling okay now. I put ice on it. But yeah, so be very careful when you're standing between a trailer and a car, because you never know what might be going to happen to you. Anyways, I'm feeling better today, so we're going to go back inside and let's get removing that floor. And hopefully I can get a bit done this week. Kind of lost a couple days, but I'm all right. So anyways, let's get inside. Well, I'm all set up and ready to go now. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to remove this section of, I guess, we're going to call them walking tiles, the actual final tiles. Remove all that through the whole bathroom. And then once I get rid of that and put in the the dump, then I'll come back and I'm going to remove these tiles over here, which are the support tiles. And they're what's set on top of the floor joists that run this way. So that's kind of my plan for today. We'll see how far I get. I'm still a bit sore from my little incident. So I'm going to take it a bit easy, and we'll see how far we get. Let's give her a go. Just thought it was another interesting thing to show. Look at what's under these tiles. So there's kind of little blobs of concrete, and then it's just sand. Like, it doesn't even feel like it's been ever bonded together or anything. Very weird, eh? Wow. So they got these blobs underneath. They've actually poured on top of the sand. So I guess they leveled it with sand. And then they poured, I don't know, it's weird. Wouldn't be the way I do it, but sure. Different kind of way of doing things, I guess. Anyways, let's get back to it. They're coming up pretty easy, so. Well, one super annoying thing that I'm having to deal with is because these tiles, the ones, on the walls, whatever else, are so sharp that when they go down, they cause slices in these bags from this whatever this thing is, whatever you call it, this chute. So we've had to buy a couple of replacements, and then like this one here, obviously not as good. This strap just broke off that was holding it, so they were all following, but you can see they cause these rips in the bags, so they fall out. So it's pretty annoying. But anyway, yeah, just if we had been doing more of this kind of work, this is the only room, this room and the one next door, maybe the games room, we're going to get stuff down from the floors. But overall, this is probably the last of it for the most part. So we didn't want to buy those plastic chutes that they chained all together that are much more durable, because that was like almost $1,000 or something. It was crazy prices. So we're like, I didn't want to do that. So that's why we've got this. So anyway, so I'm going to stitch it back together and hopefully finish this up before too much more breaks on it. Well, that took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting to go through the floor like that, but luckily I didn't go through quickly. But yeah, I guess maybe because I was banging on it so much, I don't know. This was actually the area that was the most saggiest anyway, so I think perhaps it was already going. Anyways, let's see if I can pull this apart without making a mess of the floor beneath me. Well, I'm not sure I caught it on camera, but that was quite the predicament. So I have to be very careful walking around the floor. And I don't know how I'm going to get all this out. This whole corner seems to have kind of given way. I'm going to vacuum this all out because right above this, right below this, is the ceiling of the master bedroom. Well, it's been a bit of a weird week. Didn't get as much done as I wanted. I thought I'd have this all up by now, but I also wasn't planning on being run over and falling to the floor. So I think I've done pretty well otherwise, considering I've lost a couple days. My plan originally was to start at where the threshold of the door was and remove all these kind of support tiles this way and then put them out the window. But obviously that's going to be difficult to do with this big hole here. So I'm going to figure out a way to maybe put down some OSB or something temporarily, just lay it on here, and then be able to remove these tiles and get them out. I just don't know how I'm going to smash them. One thing that I found out with the slicing bags, the reason that chute is misslicing is because the weight of the things I'm putting down is too much. So when I was smashing the tiles up into smaller pieces, that stopped the slicing of the bags, which makes total sense now. I was just trying to do things quicker by chucking a whole tile down, and that wasn't the most cost-effective way to do it. So if you ever did have to do one of these chutes, just make sure the small piece is nothing bigger than kind of the palm of your hand and nothing heavy, and then it won't cut through because it's too light to cut through. Anyways, learning experiences. With this wall over here, of course, it's sitting on these tiles. So I don't know right now. It looks, yeah. So I've got absolutely nothing under the middle. Like they didn't put a noggins or anything like that across here underneath the wall or anything like that. Because why would you? So half this wall is resting on these tiles. You can see there's about an inch here. I'm assuming that this other side is on the other bedroom. What I'm going to do, once I remove all the pipes and get rid of all the sand and all this sort of stuff, is I'm going to cut the edge of these tiles all the way along with an angle grinder and leave them for now, because this room isn't the priority. We're not doing this bathroom. This is going to be done like not even next year, probably the year after, probably 26, something like that. Because we got to do our ensuite and we have to do the bathroom that's on our floor. This is just sort of an extra bathroom for guests. So we've bought a sink for it and stuff, and we have the toilet for it, but we just haven't, you know, wasn't in the big goal for this year to get this done, or even next year. I'm not going to reinforce, and then I'll be able to run all the cables and all the plumbing and all the AC pipes and stuff like that all the way from the hallway, which is on the other side of the bedroom that's over here, under this wall, and like that. And then what I'm thinking is I'll probably do noggins all the way along, and then I will use that map stuff, which is really strong adhesive mortar. I'm going to pack underneath these so they don't sink. The door to this bathroom was barely able to close, and now it won't. Well, it'll close, but it doesn't latch. So I think I don't know which side it's going down. I think the side where the cupboard is sunk by just a little bit, or the wall has sunk by just a little bit, just by removing these edge tiles. I don't see any cracking up here either room. It all looks pretty solid. There's just a little bit on that door, but it was there always, anyways. So, anyways, remember, be careful. You make sure you put your car in park. Maybe the engine off to be super safe before you start attaching a trailer. And then don't trust the floor, because you never know when you're going to sink through it. Hopefully get more next week, a little more excitement going on. At least getting this completely done after I vacuum all this up and get all these pieces out. But yeah, I think we're up to 7 or 8 trailers so far, which is approximately 4 tons of stuff out of this room, which is amazing. So anyways, hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next vid. Cheers.